A young boy was accidentally killed by a car. 4 days after being buried, he reappeared at home. The police thought his mother couldn't accept the fact of her child's death, so they dug the child up from the grave. But looking at the small footprints on the ground, the coroner thought things might not be so simple. A few days ago, a woman was washing dishes. Suddenly she heard a sound from the drain. She moved closer and listened carefully. She heard someone say, "I'm going to kill you." The woman was scared and quickly told her husband. Mark thought it was just the sound of the neighbor next door renovating. In the middle of the night, the wife got up to use the bathroom, and again there was knocking from next door. Mark couldn't take it anymore, so he ran next door to ask the neighbor to stop, but the neighbor never responded. Returning home, the knocking continued, but strangely this time the sound was not from next door but from inside the house. He carefully walked to the bathroom, only to find his wife hanging in midair. The woman soon stopped breathing. The next day, Mark was taken to the police station as a suspect. They asked Mark if anything strange had happened recently. After thinking for a moment, Mark immediately remembered the neighbor Tony, who was always renovating. When they heard the name Tony, the three of them exchanged strange looks. It turned out Tony had contacted them not long ago. Recently, strange things had been happening at Tony's house. While sleeping, his bed would move by itself. The lights would turn off by themselves. In corners where he couldn't see, monsters would flash by. He tried to hide in bed pretending not to see, but what was even more despairing was that through the sheets a pair of strange hands were slowly getting closer. The next day, everything went back to normal. Tony was fine, but the room was in chaos. He sought help from a paranormal expert, but the expert's assistant told him that he needed to provide evidence. Tony had no choice but to buy a camera. That night he set it up on a cabinet by the bed. Everything was as usual. The lights turned off by themselves again. He didn't know how much time passed before Tony was startled awake by the sound of the camera falling. When he looked ahead, a strange shadow suddenly appeared on the wall. Tony quickly turned on the light, and the shadow instantly vanished. He immediately picked up the camera to check. On the footage, he saw a naked monster crawling out from under the bed. The monster kept staring at him until it finally walked into the wardrobe. At this moment, Tony was very scared. Just then the wardrobe behind him opened.